Welcome to the Say Yes Movement podcast with Heather, John, and Tara this morning, where we help you with your professional and personal growth, helping you say yes to all the scary stuff. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Tara. How are you?
Good morning, John.
It's the best
Good
Friday.
It sure is, isn't it? Oh my God, Tara, I love your background. This plant looks like green and full of life. It's fantastic, which is, how I feel today. It's Friday. I feel full of life. I've already been outside for my walk. I think, John, you've been outside for your walk, Tara.
Yeah.
I bet you're going to go outside, or maybe you're already been on some calls early this morning because I know you're part of a mastermind group. So we are full of energy, everyone, full of energy. And of course we are. It is Celebration Friday. It is the day that we look at the week, reflect on it, and decide and celebrate what happened. So, Tara, I would love to start with you. What are you celebrating this week? What has happened? What is different? I know it's been a crazy week.
It's been to me, this feels like the week where everything that I've been working on for the last year is coming together and ramping up into the next level, which I love. That like, it feels a little, it's almost like the when you're going up on a roller coaster, you're kind of at that top with the excitement and the energy. You're like, what's going to happen next? What twists and turns are going to happen next? But I'm totally prepared. I'm strapped in. I'm not going to fall out. Everything's going to be great. I think what I love, what I was thinking about too, with the name of this podcast, that it's say all caps yes. Yes, every day. Yes. Then there's the all caps yes. So what's happened for me right now is the result of the last time I said yes to that all caps yes moment. It was when I started working with my social media advisor, Beverly Cassie. So we started working together about a year ago, and that was when McEwen Media had its first taste of explosive growth. And I had that moment of, holy crap, what have I asked for? This is too much. I can't handle it all on my own. So I just sent out a message on Instagram saying, hey, I'm looking for help. I'm hiring someone. Just let me know if you want to join this wild ride. And Beverly reached out and she started talking to me about my social media. Now, for me, social media was not on my radar. I was literally letting my work speak for itself. I would take screen grabs of the segments my clients were getting booked on and then recap that segment, and that's it. But then when she took a look at that, she's like, you need to be on your social media platforms. People need to know who you are and the work that you're doing. And when she said that, I realized, hang on, that's right. I'm meeting so many people who want to refer me to other people, or they're in a discovery call and they say, I get where your clients are getting booked, but what are you doing? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that work? And so when working with her and just getting comfortable with being visible and talking about myself and my work and the client work that I do, that's been a huge growth period for me. I working in television, I worked for decades behind the scenes where I would empower others to say things. I would give them my best words and they would do the talking, but I was always behind. My work was never supposed to be known. A producer, the beauty of production, you're not supposed to see the wires behind the scenes. You're not supposed to see everything. The people watching right now aren't supposed to know that I signed on 30 seconds before we went to air. We're just winging it and doing it live. Like, none of that stuff is supposed to be known. It's, it's like the swan. It's all cool and calm on the surface, but the producer's work is turning in the background. But none of that stuff is supposed to be known. So to then be on stages and screens talking about myself and talking about my work, that was a lot of personal growth and learning. And now, being on this podcasting, this is the 4th or 5th podcast I've done since the spring. Later this month, we're a media sponsor for a conference. I'm holding a live event next month. So all these next levels are happening. And I'm approaching it with this feeling of just excitement. I'm like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but everything. So now I'm looking back at everything that's happened since then. I'm like, that is an all caps yes moment.
I love that. An all caps yes moment. That is the title of our podcast now today. I love that. Thank you, Tara. We're going to get a little bit because there's so much I want to explore in that storyline there. But John, I want to make sure that we get our celebrations in too, because it is Celebration Friday. And remember, to everyone that's listening live, it's not just what we're celebrating, it's what you're celebrating as well. So share in the comments, let us know what's happened this week that you're celebrating. I know it's been a crazy busy week for a lot of people, especially with back to school, but there are so many beautiful moments that have happened. So John, what are you celebrating this week?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, I kind of feel like Tara too, right? Like there's just been so many things that have built up over the last couple of months that have landed me where I am today. And a part of it was going back to school, not as a student, but this time as a professor, right? So just getting back into the rhythm, working, one of the things that we have as part of this show is to create impact, right? Impacting a million people. Well, I added 40 new people to that list this week through through my college classes that I'm teaching in. So 40. So we're 80 new people that we're going to be able to impact, right?
Amazing.
Yeah. And it's been a great process, just reconnecting, especially with the young, fresh minds that are going through the process. Because one of the things I do, I have everybody kind of introduce themselves to the class and to myself. And it's just been great to just learn about everybody's background and just that connection piece that we're always talking about, and bringing that to life in person, right? So yeah, there's a lot to celebrate. And actually, I'm going to add one more thing. I've been walking with the sunrises every morning. So as I've been listening in on my 6 a.m. mastermind calls, I've been going for walks, and just seeing the sun come up has been a beautiful thing. So yeah. Heather, what about you? What are you celebrating?
You know what? Same thing. It's, back to school for so many people. In fact, in my family, almost everybody's gone back to school, kids and adults alike. And like yourself, John, I'm also teaching at college. So I've got 120 people that are now in my classes, which is fantastic. But, what really gets me excited is they've said yes to coming, and the majority of them are international students. They've said yes to come to an entirely different country and to get a higher education. And it just is another reminder of what a beautiful place that we live in here in Canada. The opportunities are so plentiful, and we're so welcoming and opening our doors to make sure that international students have the best experience. So just to be a part of that and to check in on them to see how we can make their experience here and their education for the next 4 years the best. So I'm really celebrating that. And it's first weeks is a fun thing. Now, there's another fun fact. My niece is going to the same college that I'm teaching at. So we got to drive together on day one. We're not at the same campus on the other days, but she sat in on one of my classes, and I was like, oh, am I going to be a little extra nervous? And, it was just really fun to be able to be an aunt and also to be a professor at the same time, because we all wear all of these hats, but we're one and the same. So it's been a really fantastic week, and I'm really excited to get into the weekend and start again on Monday. So that's what I'm celebrating.
Yeah, no, excellent. I just wanted to take a second and say good morning to a couple of folks. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning, Abu. Thank you for being here with us. And listen, just like Heather said, what's your celebration? What are you celebrating this week? It's not just us talking about it, it's also hearing it from you. We love to hear people's celebrations. Felicia, you're getting a little bit of echo. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think we're okay here on this end. So,
yeah.
So Tara, so just keep, in theme with what you said, building up and celebrating, creating the momentum to where you are today. So you said yes to something really big,
yeah,
right? So can you share? So what people don't know, and before we get into this, Tara is going to be one of our speakers at the Say Yes Movement speaker series that is going to be posted just after this call, just after this segment. The Say Yes speaker series is on October 3rd, and it's going to be in downtown Toronto. So I'm excited to launch that. And just, what we're going to get today is just a bit of a snippet of what Tara is going to be sharing with us on that day as well. So if you could just share with us, what had led you to this moment? What was that point of transformation or change for you that said, this is where I'm going and this is what I'm going to do that's different from what I've done for a long time?
Yeah. The Say Yes moment, I love that you described it as big. It's become big. In that moment, it just felt right. it was just, there was something about the way that she described how I was showing up and how she was seeing me on my own platform that pointed out, there is a disalignment or a misalignment here. I am. And I realized too in the last year, the work that I do, it needs to be seen and experienced. I can't just say like, I'm a creative powerhouse, I'm full of energy, growth mindset. I can have all this stuff in a pamphlet. You have to experience it. I've learned in the last year, you have to actually talk to me and share your ideas and experience what it's like for you to say something, have it filter through my brain, and then come out as a different story. Like, that's just something that I know. It's just who I am. I'm a lifelong storyteller. I first experienced it as a journalism student and then all throughout my career. But to then communicate that, you can actually harness this creative energy for your own story and whatever platform you want to go to. I need to show that. I can't just tell people that this is what I do. And even with the clients where they get booked on television, that's just showing people the end result. But the process, the real work, the process is the experience. So those are the learnings that have come from that. But in terms of that moment of saying yes, it was just her pointing out, you need to be, her saying, this is what you need to do. Like basically giving me the same advice that I give to my clients, he was giving it to me. And I thought, this is what I need. So even though this wasn't on my radar at all or part of my business plan, I just knew intuitively, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that this is what I need to say yes to. And I think to me, that's the all yes moment. It's the universe. It's your intuition, whatever you want to credit it, saying you're paying attention to the wrong thing. You're worried about the day-to-day. You're worried about your daily schedule and how you're going to get through this. This moment is looking at the future. This moment is looking at your next phase that you're not paying attention to. And once you say yes to that, then your future comes and appears. So that's where really just getting comfortable with being on video, but also being aware of how uncomfortable it was and how ironic it is that I do this for a living. I teach people how to be more visible for a living. But when I took the steps to be more visible, there was a lot of fear that came up, a lot of judgments, a lot of limiting beliefs. But luckily I have the tools now so I basically followed my own advice. That was almost a theme for a lot of the early videos that I shared, was I'm following my own advice. And guess what? It works. So that's a really great marketing tool. So that was where my mind was at. And then when the opportunity came to join the Amplify Your Voice speaking program with HannahCon Worldwide, that I saw as the interesting thing though, when I agreed to do that, it's because I had a lot of clients who wanted support in the speaking space. So I wasn't thinking that I should be a speaker. It was just, I need to explore what this space is. I know intuitively it's different from broadcast. So let's see what this world is like so I can serve my clients better. But then out of that is a speech that I love. I love telling it so much. There was a profound growth and shift that happened in telling that speech on stage, and the opportunities that have come since then. The speaking event that you invited me to, this podcast, other podcasts. So it's just the all caps yes moments are when you say yes to something because it feels right in the moment, but you have no idea what's going to come after it. And you're just open to the new and the excited and the unexpected.
Tara, what I love the most about so much to digest there, but the fact that you're, acknowledging, even when you're at the top of your game, having a coach, because sometimes we look at ourselves in the mirror and we can't see the amazing things that are right in front of us, but someone else can look at us and say, did you know that you're awesome at this? And that's why, involving a coach, talking to people that know you best, and just doing a personal SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? What are your opportunities? What are the things that are keeping you up at night? And that way you can step into that one little thing. And what you described is you didn't know where it was going, but it sure has taken you on a path of excitement. And that's a message we share with so many people. When you say yes to anything, it will open up new possibilities that you can't even dream of right now, because your future self knows where it's going and it's pulling you along, dragging you along, even if you're trying to resist it. So going in that direction and taking that one action, saying yes, big cap yes, I love that one, is the way to go. It's fantastic. John, I'm sure you have some, you're pulling some stuff out of here too.
Yeah, I know. Listen, as you were saying that, what was showing up for me was just not worried about the how.
Yeah.
right? You let go of the how, and it's like, okay, just say yes, and just, go. It can be challenging. It can be difficult because some people want to see the whole process. They want to see the roadmap. They want to see, like, where are we going? And sometimes you're building the road as you're walking on it or driving on it, and it's like, okay, so this is what needs to happen next. And what I love about that is just you have the opportunity to pivot the way you need to pivot. The expression is, the universe will conspire on your behalf once you know where it is you want to go. And that's what ends up happening, right? Like, I was there at the speaker event with you at Amplify Your Voice, and so was Roger. So Roger's there as a testament to that. And it's just an amazing thing on, and this is what I've seen, right? Like, when you put yourself into a situation where you're, I'm going to say, a bit uncomfortable or a bit out of the box, it creates a new opportunity to just be, right? And that future version of you sees you in a way that's like, oh yeah, listen, I've always been here. You just need to come and get me, right? So just moving in that direction, but letting go. And I think a lot of us, if we just let go of the how, not worry about the how, just say yes to the things that, and I'm guessing with you, Tara, too, like you felt instinctively like I needed to say yes to this. If I don't say yes, it's almost like you're going to look back and if you step into your future self's going to say, well, if I don't do this today, I'm probably going to regret it in the future. Yeah. So let's ditch the regret and let's just go.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens, right?
And there's a magic. I want to actually follow up on a couple of things that you guys have both raised. So one is about the impact and magic of saying yes quickly. If I had given myself time to think about it, my past self would talk me out of it. My past self would say, social media, it's doing fine. It's doing what it's doing. Leave it alone. You stay in the background. That's where you've been your entire life. You're the background character. That's where you belong. But saying yes right away and then just following it along with it, that past self never had a chance to have a say. They just we're done, dusted. Thank you for what you've done so far. But Heather, I really I connected with when you were talking about that coaching relationship, because it is that extra person that makes this possible and safe. I always describe the creative process, like even with my team, like I can take the business and our ideas to here. I need you to then take it to here. So whatever, you're both teachers, like that's the role, that's the service that you're providing your classes or your students, I should say. Like it's just, there is something that happens to, someone, you always show up with this level. And then when you allow someone to take you to this next level, then that's not your new normal. Like it's just this leveling up. Only happen when you work with someone else, a teacher, a coach, a group. It's really hard to do this on your own. You do need that person to bring you along and push you forward.
That's so true. That's so true. I love having you on, and I'm so thankful that you said yes to our Speakers Podcast series that we're going to do on October 3rd. Roger, you're asking for the link. We're going to put the link in here. We're going to also send out, we want to see all the familiar faces at that event, and you'll be one of 4 speakers that's going to share your say yes moment. And I guarantee you're going to be inspired. You're going to feel like you can say yes quickly. But we do need to wrap up. So I think, Tara, you had the perfect call to action. We always leave our audience with one thing to do after they've listened to the podcast. And that one thing is to say yes to something, but say yes quickly. So no hesitation, no thinking, no wondering, no dreaming, just say yes and see where it goes. And this is a fun weekend to do that on, because you're going to be with family. You're going to possibly, maybe you're going to try a new sport this weekend. Maybe you're going to join the team that you were thinking of joining. For those that are back in school, there's lots of different communities that you can say yes to. Whatever that thing is, do not hesitate, do it quickly. And we can't wait to hear on Monday what you've said yes to over the weekend. So with that, John, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Heather.
20 minutes goes by so fast.
I know. It's like, where's the time go? It's like, poof. Yes. So you have your call to action. Say yes, say it quickly. Tara, that's the one thing that I've been working on too, is just saying yes really quickly. because then you don't have time to think about what it is and the how. You just do.
Yep.
And who you need to become, which is the part that I love.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, when you shift your mindset, you shift your life. Wishing you all a great one. See you on Monday. Take care, everybody.